Welcome back to Monday Morning Chat. This morning, remembering my dad and some of the things we did together. A lot of things we did together, especially here at Thanksgiving time. We were either going on hunting trips or we were selling cattle. It all revolved around the outdoors, most of it, except for Thanksgiving Day. You know, Dad liked a traditional Thanksgiving. In my early years, we were at his mother's and father's having a traditional Thanksgiving with all the Warnack family. And it was a double day because we'd go there early, and that afternoon we'd go to my grandparent Blanton's, and they had their Thanksgiving in the evening. So yeah, when we came home, we were stuffed. I know this boy was stuffed. I had plenty of turkey, plenty of homemade sides. It was a great thing. So this morning, I was just going to kind of show you what my dad had left me. Part of it was mine, part of it was his, but it was his knife collection. And some of the knives in there I gave to him. Some were his father's. Some were my grandfather's on my mother's side of the family. And he loved pocket knives. He carried a pocket knife till the day he was gone. So they were just a tool. And when I was in the 4th grade, I was given a pocket knife. We played chicken and stuff at school. Nobody ever got hurt. Nobody got stabbed. I mean, you know, it's a totally different world that we live in now. But I still carry a pocket knife every day. So let me show you what I've got here. These are some of Dad's. This was his father's straight razor. My grandfather rode a mule from Mississippi to Texas. I think it took him and his twin brother about 6 months to a year. They stopped along the way, had worked at a sawmill. I mean, they took one mule, shotgun and a rifle, just like almost like the song. A shotgun and rifle and a 4-wheel drive. Well, theirs was 4-wheel drive. It was a four-legged mule. And they stopped along the way, worked at a sawmill, got enough money up to hook that mule up and bought a wagon. In the meantime, while my grandfather was working at the sawmill, he fell over on a big circular saw, cut his stomach, ripped it in two, and they sewed him back up and he went back to work. These are some, well, I call them points. I don't think they're arrowheads. I think they're too high, way too much. I think they're probably spear points that we found on the ranch where I was a kid, along with some grindstones and other things. But I gave those to Dad years ago and he kept them. Here's a knife that I made for my dad. Let's see, Father's Day 94 is what it says right here. I had a knife shop and I wanted to make him kind of a straight razor type thing, or a pocket knife that was kind of like a straight razor. So you just take it back. It's a friction fit back here. This is made out of a saw blade. It's got my brand on it right here, 5W. That was our ranch brand, 5 Warnacks. My dad, my mother, and all 3 kids. So I took and burnt this brand in. I know it's kind of hard to see right there, but there's the 5W. And there's the date that I gave to my father for Father's Day. He treasured this, kept it. I think he carried it a few times. One of my little mini Bowie knives that I made my father. It's made out of a hacksaw blade. It's actually sharp. It actually will cut. if I can get this one out. This is kind of a gnarly little knife with all the bumps. Of course, it's a deer antler. And it says, it would be February 18th, 1994, knife made by Larry. I asked it to be, let's see. Oh, I picked it out. I don't know, I picked it out something. I don't understand what he was saying. But anyway, it's kind of a gnarly little, he used it on his desk as a letter opener. Get you a better view of some of these. This knife, I remember, it's a buck. I gave it to him in 1978. If you're a knife collector, you will understand. Buck knives are really good. 1984, that butterfly looking thing that came from Las Vegas. I'm sorry, 1968 came from Las Vegas. One of his letter openers, I can't remember when he got that. A lot of these knives I gave him for Father's Day and Christmas of the years. An old timer. Several bucks. He was in the tire business, and they had a company called Recappers Equipment. There he is, 1959. They gave out these knives on the road. Of course, my grandfather's straight razor. I think the tag on it says 1910. My grandfather would have been about 20 years old, maybe 15 years old. This is one of his oldest knives. Let's see what this says here. Oh, that Dad bought in 1951. I believe my mother bought that for my dad when they were just married. Let's see, there's a case right beside it. This one here, it's a case Stockman, I think is what they call that. He got that in 53, I guess, when I was born. 1950, another knife. I think this was his dad's, if I remember right. So anyway, lots of memories. Here's a knife that I carry every day. And it says on the side of it, see if I can get this so we can see it. Hard to read. It says, to Larry on your birthday, from Mom and Dad. Dad engraved it. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. It's on the other side. Larry, 1994, Christmas. Love you, Mom and Dad. This is my first knife that I bought. It's a K-bar. I bought this in the 60s. I don't know, maybe 66, 67. High school is my first deer hunting knife. Before that, I had handmade knives, which you'll see these. I use these all the time still today. I made these in about the 7th or 8th grade. And later through the years, I made this cleaver that I use. And this big old knife back here in the back, big butcher knife. It's heavy bladed. That came out of a saw blade that was in my dad's shop. He always said, I'm going to make a knife out of that one of these days. He never got to, so after he passed away, I made this knife for him. I use it all the time. So that's a little glimpse into my dad and me and our knife collecting. You know, I know collectors some of them have thousands of knives. He wasn't a crazy collector, but he collected things that meant something to him, like the knives that were his dad's, that my grandfather's on the other side of the family, especially knives that I had give him and made for him. And I kind of do the same thing. You know, I use my knives that I built when I was a kid in Boy Scouts and that I carried, and I still use them today. You know what? They work. I don't have a high-priced cutlery set like you see on a lot of these people's show. You know, they've got, I think those are called Cutco. I don't know if they give them away to them, but everybody seems to have a set of Cutco. Not that they're not good knives. I've known a couple of people that had those, and they're really good knives. But, you know, a knife does one thing. It cuts. And if it keeps on cutting and you can sharpen it, which I can, I just keep on using it. That's why I do mine. So, it's been a good week or so. I was off of, I don't know if I've even said this on my last video or not. My heart failure doctor said that my heart had improved, which is, boy, definitely went like by 20%. More pumping power for the old dude. And because of that, he took me off of my, what do they call it? Well, I just call it my pee pill. It's an old diuretic. They cut it in half. Because I'm telling you, my life schedule revolved around that. I don't know if any of y'all are on diuretics, but I was on 2 a day, and I took them every day. Now I could kind of fudge on the time from, you know, what time I took them, but I knew once I took those, the timer was ticking, tick, 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 tick. I got to be to the bathroom somewhere, or be out on a country road like a country boy does. So, because it was going to go, and anyway, he kept those in half. So I get one day, no diuretics. Great. I don't even have to set a timer. I didn't have to set a timer anyway, because, you know, if you got to roll, you got to roll. But that was a win for me. He said I didn't need it. He cut one of my other medications in half, which is great. It's the medication that possibly has. You can see my Mr. Wiggly there. He cut one of my medications in half. The one that it's possibly the cause of my essential tremors. You can see Mr. Wiggly there. He just does it on his own. Now I can push against it, it'll stop. But if I leave him, he's like, okay, let me disco dance or something. He's got his own little mind. So they cut that in half, which is great. But everything else is good. I'm off of Ozempics, and that stuff it took a month or so, 2 months, but it just ripped me. I just couldn't handle it. And I asked him the other day, I said, what is it? He said, man, some people just can't handle it. I mean, I had my gallbladder removed years ago. It could have something to do with that. I don't know. He didn't really know. His answer was, some people can't handle it. You're not the only one. So anyway, that's kind of my Monday update right here before Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving is all cooked. I posted some videos of my Thanksgiving, my dressing and sweet potatoes and all that. I had to get them out early because people ask me, how do you make Southern style dressing? Well, I've got videos on that. If you don't know how to make it and you want to know, look it up. I did a pie with some leftover dough that I had made and wrapped up in the freezer, got it out and thawed it out, made a killer pumpkin pie out of it. There's a video I think posted yesterday on it, on Saturday. Of course, this is on Monday morning. So, no, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. And anyway, and then I made a crustless pumpkin pie for my wife. And I'm not the biggest fan of crust on pies, but I did take a little snippet, little bite. Boy, it's good. It's really good. It's a great pumpkin pie recipe. It's a pretty easy one. It's made with sweetened condensed milk, so it's got a wonderful flavor. And once it baked for about 40 minutes, 35 minutes, the top of it almost had like a creme brulee on the top, that crispy, crunchy creme brulee. I don't know what you call it, that crispy, sugary top. So, and it's creamy on the inside. Look at my video if you want to see how I made that. It's really good. So, anyway, that's all from the old dude this week. Y'all have a wonderful week. I've got some more videos that'll be posting. Our wife and I are going to have our Thanksgiving. We had to thaw out everything on Wednesday to have Thanksgiving. But I'll post our meal that we have on Thanksgiving Day. And I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I don't think in other countries they celebrate Thanksgiving. I know I have some people that watch me from Australia, I'm wondering, what do they do? Have roasted kangaroo? No, I'm just joking. But I really don't even know. I know America celebrates it. And I know one of my daughters put on yesterday on my Facebook, or on Facebook, said they had a Friendsgiving. I guess that's a new thing. I don't know what that means. I guess that's for your friends and you don't want them over there on Thanksgiving Day. They're not good enough to be the family, so but you have them on a friend's Thanksgiving. I guess another gathering. So things are different from the old dude. I'm heading on into my 73rd year, and things have changed a lot through the years. So hope y'all have a good holiday, and I will catch y'all after the holidays sometime. Wife and I are actually going out of town on a little short vacation on Saturday after Thanksgiving. Going to my favorite catfish place up in Oklahoma called McGeehee's. It's a wonderful place. It's out in the middle of the country on the Red River where nothing else is. I've been going up there for years. And on the way up there, they open at 11 o'clock on Saturday after Thanksgiving. On the way up there, we go right by WinStar. Yeah, the Oklahoma casino, one of the biggest around. And I know going up there, my car will start going, pull over here, pull over here. They actually have a non-smoking section, which thank God for that. I just can't handle smoke, all I can say. Something I never did, and I'll never do. And they have lots of slot machines. My wife will go in there, and I go in there both, and we play the nickel slots. Sometimes get heavy and play the quarter slots. Yeah, we're big time gamblers. Or most of the time play the penny slots. And we'll take X number of dollars in and say, okay, well, this is just like going to a movie. This money is gone. If we come out more than what we took in, that's a win. If we don't, it's a win because it's just fun. So anyway, I'll take some pictures at McGeehee's and post that. It's really good catfish. If you're anywhere in the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, I guess Kansas is not too far. It's maybe a couple hour drive out of the border of Kansas. Go to McGeehee's. They're really good. So I'm going to shut up rambling, and I'll just talk to y'all next time. I do appreciate you being here. Old dude's out of here.